catalyst. Few characteristics already we learned. Better full name. Otherwise characteristics of cat. Properties of, what are the properties of catalyst? Catalyst means that alters the rate of reaction. Alters means think positive, so it increases the rate of reaction. So any other external substance that increases rate of reaction. Originally that definition is it alters rate of reaction. Okay. Now we are considering increases rate of reaction. So the catalyst means that is the external substance. It alters rate of reaction without undergoing any chemical change. Finally no chemical change. That substance is a catalyst. So catalyst we are adding to different reactions to increase the rate of reaction. Rate of reaction means it is also called speed of the reaction. To speed up the process we are adding this catalyst. So which elements we are using as catalyst generally? In D and F block elements we learned already. D block elements are used as catalyst in most of the reactions. Why D block elements are used as catalyst? There we learned two reasons. Answer is the third option is correct answer. Both A and B like this we learned. So what are the two reasons here? One is the D block elements exhibits a variable oxidation state. Because of variable oxidation state they can form unstable intermediate compounds. Because of unstable intermediate compounds they give us products easily. So these are used as a catalyst. Yes or no? Like this one reason we learned in D and F block elements. Second reason what we learned? Because of vacant d orders they have large surface area. Because of large surface area adsorption is easy. Nothing but in heterogeneous catalytic reaction the principle involved is adsorption. Because of adsorption easy, that's why D block elements are used as a catalyst. So which elements are used as catalyst in most of the reactions? Given the answer is D block elements. We are using D block elements as catalyst. Anyhow this catalyst means it increases the rate of reaction, sometimes decreases the rate of reaction also. So what are the characteristics of catalyst? Little amount we should add, more amount we should add. So the first character is a little amount of first one actual the definition, it alters the rate of the reaction. Okay. Next, little amount of catalyst is sufficient to alters the rate of reaction. No need to add more amount, little amount added, it also alters the rate of reaction. So little amount is enough. And finally it changes or not? Finally no change. No change in its chemical composition. No change in its chemical composition and no change in its mass. But what changes? Physical state may changes. So for this one example also we learned. What is that example? KClO3 in the presence of MnO2 gives a KCl plus O2. So KClO3, this reaction is also very important reaction. What is the catalyst used for this reaction given there is a MnO2? What is the color of MnO2? Remember, KClO3 in the presence of MnO2 gives KCl plus O2. Okay. Oxygen preparation or KClO3 decomposition. Here MnO2 we are taking in the form of granules. But finally what we are getting MnO2. Finally we are getting MnO2 only. But that MnO2 is powdered. Powdered MnO2 we are getting. Nothing but what happened here? Physical state changes. So there is no change in chemical composition. There is no change in mass. But physical state may changes. Physical state may changes. Next, catalyst initiates the reaction or not? It starts the reaction or it just alters the rate of reaction? Once reaction started, catalyst not initiates the reaction. The reaction started but the reaction is slow reaction. To that catalyst added, it speeds up the process. It speeds up the process. Nothing but catalyst not initiates the, but H2 plus O2 not starts, but platinum is added, the reaction will start. Like this exception cases are there, but general statement not initiates the reaction. Catalyst not initiates the reaction, nothing but it not starts the reaction. If the reaction started, then this catalyst speeds up the reaction or it alters the rate of reaction, but catalyst not initiates the reaction. Next, how it speeds up the reaction? What happens here? In the presence of catalyst, it decreases activation energy. This is very important one. The following is the correct statement with respect to characteristics of a catalyst. You can observe the questions. Almost questions are like that only. Now, decreases activation energy. So, catalyst means that alters the rate of reaction. That is a catalyst. Okay. And little amount of catalyst is sufficient to alter the rate of reaction. And in this it alters rate of reaction but no change. chemical composition no change and mass also no change, physical state may changes. For that example, MnO2 we are taking, and catalyst means this one not initiates the reaction. Once reaction started, then it alters the rate of reaction, it speeds up the process. Okay, next up, it decreases activation energy. What is this activation energy? Activation energy, last class already we learned this one. Reactants have some amount of energy, reactants changes to products. To convert this reactant to product, some amount of energy is required. For example, now it is exothermic reaction or endothermic reaction. If I give a graph like this is the energy of reactants, this is the energy of products. Anyhow, this complete information we are going to learn in next chapter, that is the chemical kinetics. So it is the energy of reactants, energy of products. This difference is delta H. E product minus E reactant, the difference is delta H. Yes or no? That is nothing but that is the enthalpy of reaction. That is the enthalpy of a reaction. E product minus E reactant. This is a negative or positive? Delta H. EP minus ER. This is the energy of, here energy. Okay. This is the energy of, on y-axis we are using energy of reactant. This is the energy of product. Now this delta H is negative or positive? EP minus ER. EP is less, ER is more. Nothing but delta H is a negative. Delta H negative means the reaction is exothermic or endothermic reaction? Definitely the reaction is a exothermic reaction. If graph given like this is the energy of reactant, this is the energy of products. Then this difference is delta H. Difference is delta H. Now this delta H is positive. Nothing but this reaction is a endothermic reaction. Now you take exothermic reaction or endothermic reaction. This energy is called threshold energy. Some minimum amount of energy is required. This energy barrier crossed, then only reactant can changes to product. Then only reactant changes to product. So to convert a reactant to product, some minimum amount of energy is required. This is the minimum energy. This much energy is there, then only reactants can changes to products. But initially reactants were here. That much energy not there. Now during the collisions, energy transfers from, if it is endothermic reaction, anyhow we are heating. Now energy gaining takes place, gaining and losing. So some molecules gains energy. So which molecules gains energy? They reaches this energy barrier, they only changes to products. All reactants not changes to products. Then these reactions collide with each other. During the reactants, during these collisions, energy transfer from one molecule to another molecule. Anyhow, in states of matter we learned kinetic molecular theory of gases. Collide with each other, energy transfers from one molecule to another molecule. But overall kinetic energy remains constant. Like this point we learned or not? Okay. So energy transfer, nothing but some molecules getting less energy, some molecules getting more energy. So some molecules reach this point, okay, threshold energy, then they changes to products. So how much energy gained? That energy is the activation energy. That energy is activation energy. Now more activation energy is required. More activation energy is required. Nothing but the reaction is slow reaction. Because more energy is required, more molecules should gains this energy, then the changes to products. Nothing but that reaction is a slow reaction. Now if catalyst is added, it is the absence of catalyst. Okay, there is no catalyst here. Now if any catalyst is added, what happens? Catalyst changes the path of the reaction. Now the reaction occurs like this. Okay, reaction occurs like this. Nothing but reactant energy, any change? No. Product energy, any change? No. Nothing but enthalpy of this reaction, any change? There is no change in enthalpy of reaction. But see this activation energy? Activation energy changed or not? Here, absence of catalyst, this much activation energy is required. But in the presence of catalyst, less activation energy is sufficient. Nothing but what happens here? In the presence of catalyst, the reaction occurs in new path with less activation energy. Less activation energy. So what is the importance of this catalyst? Catalyst added, less activation energy is sufficient. That's why in the presence of catalyst, reactions occurs faster. Okay. So what is the main condition here? It decreases the activation energy. How it decreases activation energy? The reaction occurs in new path with less activation energy. So catalyst can alter the delta H value, given answer. Catalyst alters or not? Catalyst not changes the delta H value. Catalyst can changes delta S value. Entropy any change? No change in delta S value. Delta H no change, delta S no change, nothing but delta G any change? Delta G no change. But what changes here? Activation energy. So catalyst changes activation energy. The reaction occurs in a new path with less activation energy. Okay. And next character is so first character is little amount is sufficient. Second one is it not initiates. And third one is okay. Third one I written here. It not initiates. And second one, no change in chemical composition, no change in mass, but physical state may changes. And next fourth one is it decreases activation energy. Because of decrease in activation energy, catalyst increases the rate of reaction. So the reaction occurs in a new path with less activation energy. Next, catalyst is specific in nature. What is the meaning of this one? Catalyst is specific in nature. In physical adsorption, chemical adsorption, which is specific in nature, which is general in nature? General nature, specific nature. Which is specific? Nothing but this only can undergo adsorption. Chemical adsorption, specific. All not undergoes chemical adsorption. But the physical adsorption is a general in nature. Like that here. Catalyst is specific in nature. What is the meaning of this specific nature? So here, in first year we learned these reactions. CO plus H2 in the presence of nickel. In the presence of nickel only given, we learned reaction, two types of reactions. Just nickel given, the product obtained is CH4. Remember, CO plus H2 in the presence of nickel gives CH4. Same CO plus H2. What is the name of this combination mixture? CO plus H2, 50%, 50% mixture of CO and H2, equimolar mixture of CO and H2 is called water gas or syn gas or blue gas. Yes or no? Learn this name. So it is the water gas. Now it is heated in the presence of zinc oxide and chromium oxide. In the presence of zinc oxide and chromium oxide. The product obtained is a methyl alcohol. The product obtained is methyl alcohol. Reactants are similar. Reactants are similar. That is the carbon monoxide and hydrogen mixture. If nickel used as catalyst, the product obtained is CH4. CH4 or nickel iron cobalt is used as catalyst. The product obtained is hydrocarbon. We can write instead of CH4 hydrocarbons. So preparation of hydrocarbons from water gas. That process name, reaction name, Fischer-Tropsch process. In hydrogenized compounds, there we learned preparation of hydrocarbons from carbon monoxide and hydrogen water gas in the presence of nickel, iron, cobalt. That reaction name is a Fischer-Tropsch process. So in Fischer-Tropsch process, nickel, iron, cobalt used as the catalyst. If zinc oxide and chromium oxide used as catalyst, the product obtained is a methyl alcohol. See that catalyst changed, the product formed also changes. So catalyst is a specific in nature. Catalyst is specific in nature. Reactants are similar, but products are different. What we change here? Catalyst changed. So catalyst is specific in nature. Nothing but catalyst changed. Sometimes the product formed is also changes. Otherwise, best one is the enzymes. Enzyme catalytic reactions. Now, for the digestion of proteins, which enzyme involved in that? Digestion of proteins. Pepsin and trypsin only involved, or invertase zyme is also involved. Invertase digest only sucrose. Sucrose to glucose and fructose. Invertase can convert the sucrose to glucose and fructose. But invertase not converts these proteins to amino acids. So proteins to amino acids, what we have to, what required? Pepsin or trypsin. Nothing but pepsin, trypsin can digest, can catalyze proteins to amino acids. Invertase can catalyze that sucrose to glucose and fructose. Zymase can catalyze to zymase. Where we learn this one? Ethyl alcohol preparation. Okay, in organic chemistry still not completed. So zymase. Zymase converts glucose to ethyl alcohol. Glucose to ethyl alcohol. Zymase not converts sucrose to glucose and fructose. Nothing but this catalyst is a specific in nature. Catalyst is a specific in nature. One catalyst can catalyze that reaction. Catalyst change, the product formed also changes. So it is a specific in nature. Okay, this is the meaning of catalyst specific nature. Next, in this catalyst, what is promoter, what is catalytic poison, what is positive catalyst, what is negative catalyst, what is autocatalysis, what is induced catalysis. So next one is what is positive catalyst, negative catalyst. Positive catalyst. the meaning of this positive catalyst and negative catalyst? They will give one reaction. In that reaction, this one acts as a positive catalyst or negative catalyst. Like that given, what is that positive and negative? Haber's process. Well-known examples. We know many examples. So, Haber's process. In Haber's process, N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3. Here, what we are using? Iron used as a catalyst. Yes or no? Iron used as catalyst. Now this iron increases the rate of reaction or decreases the rate of reaction. So to increase the rate of reaction, in this reaction we are adding iron. Nothing but iron acts as a positive catalyst. Positive catalyst means that increases the rate of reaction. Okay, like that. To prevent the decomposition of chloroform, CHCl3, chloroform. This is also well known. Chloroform used as a anesthetic agent. This chloroform decomposes easily. When it exposed to air, it is used as anesthetic agent. But when exposed to air, it decomposes to COCl2. What is the name of this one? Phosgene. CHCl3 is the chloroform, COCl2 is the phosgene. Phosgene is a poisonous compound. So when it exposed to air, this anesthetic agent changes to poisonous compound. Chloroform used as anesthetic agent, but when it exposed to air, it changes to poisonous compound. What is that poisonous compound of? COCl2, phosgene. So to prevent this reaction, here 1% ethyl alcohol we are using. 1% ethyl alcohol used to prevent the decomposition of this chloroform. Decomposition of this chloroform. Nothing but this ethyl alcohol prevent the reaction. Prevent the reaction means it acts as negative catalyst or positive catalyst. If it increases the rate of reaction, that is the positive catalyst. If it decreases rate of reaction, that is the negative catalyst. Now it stops the decomposition. Nothing but it is a negative catalyst. Otherwise, in first year, hydrogenated compounds, hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide stored in the presence of H2O2. When it exposed to air, it decomposes to H2O and O2. To prevent this, this is very important question. To prevent this, what we are using? Acetanilide. Acetanilide or ethylene glycol or H3PO4 also we can use. If this one, anyone little amount added, it stops the decomposition of that hydrogen peroxide. Now it decreases the reactivity. Nothing but it acts as a negative catalyst. Yes or no? So acetanilide or H3PO4 or ethylene glycol acts as a negative catalyst for the decomposition of a hydrogen peroxide. So if it decreases the rate of reaction, that is a negative catalyst. Increases rate of reaction, that is a positive catalyst. That is the meaning of positive catalyst and negative catalyst. Okay. So next one, what is catalytic poison and promoter? What is catalyst? What is positive catalyst? What is negative catalyst? What is catalytic poison and what is promoter? Catalytic poison, promoter. Along with these characteristics, we should concentrate more on examples. All examples anyhow I given in that notes. All examples you practice. Okay. So catalytic poison. What is this catalytic poison? If any substance, for example, SO2 plus O2 gives SO3. Okay. What is this reaction? Where we use this reaction? What is this means? There is a combustion reaction. SO2 plus O2 gives 2SO3. This reaction in contact process. In contact process, what is the catalyst used? V2O5 we can use, or platinum also we can use as catalyst. So V2O5 or platinum we are using as catalyst. Okay. In this process, if arsenic impurities are present, decreases the activity of catalyst. It decreases activity of catalyst if arsenic impurity is present. That's why before this reaction, first we should remove the arsenic impurities. These arsenic impurities are removed by using what we are using here? Ferric hydroxide. Answered or not? Because in last class also we discussed this one. Arsenic impurities are removed by using ferric hydroxide. So here arsenic impurities decreases the activity of catalyst. Nothing but arsenic impurity is a catalytic poison. This acts as catalytic poison. Otherwise, best example, Lindlar's catalyst. Mostly you remember this one, Lindlar's catalyst. What is this Lindlar's catalyst? Hydrogen. Anyhow, there is the addition of hydrogen. Palladium in the presence of barium sulfate. Sulfur in phenolene. Or here we can use CaCO3 also. This is the Lindlar's catalyst. Now here palladium acts as a catalyst. Palladium acts as a catalyst. Barium sulfate sulfur phenolene decreases the activity of catalyst because in this reaction palladium acts as catalyst. Without barium sulfate sulfur phenolene, complete reduction takes place. This one specially we are using for partial reduction. Partial reduction means less amount of hydrogen should produce. So this catalyst activity we should reduce. To reduce the catalytic activity, we are using barium sulfate sulfur in quinoline. Nothing but it acts as a catalytic poison. So if this catalytic poison not there, complete reduction takes place. Complete reduction takes place. If this one, for example, CH triple bond CH, hydrogen in the presence of platinum palladium given. What is the product obtained given? Complete reduction. Organic reactions, remember no, reduction, just addition of hydrogens. Now it changes to CH3. Okay, this is complete reduction. 2 pi bonds replaced by hydrogens. But we want partial reduction. Only 1 pi bond should replace. Nothing but we should reduce the activity of a catalyst. To reduce that activity of catalyst, we are adding here barium sulfate and quinoline. Okay, barium sulfate and quinoline added, its activity decreases. Then only 1 pi bond reduction takes place. So the product obtained is in the presence of this CH2 double bond CH2, not nothing but any one other you take, not this simple one, higher alkyne. Any higher alkyne we are using, then we will get here alkene. Because this Lindlar's catalyst Birch reduction in hydrocarbons we learned cis product is getting or trans product is getting. To identify cis and trans, bigger alkyne alkene used, then we can identify. Anyhow, in the presence of Lindlar's catalyst, what we are getting? Alkene, not alkane. So barium sulfate and quinoline added, it reduces the activity of catalyst. Reduces activity of catalyst. Nothing but it acts as a catalytic poison. So for this catalytic poison, two very important examples. One is the arsenic impurity acts as catalytic poison in contact process, and barium sulfate sulfur in quinoline acts as a catalytic poison in Lindlar's catalyst. Okay, two are important examples. And next one is a promoter. What is this promoter? Promoter. Now come to that Haber's process. N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3. Iron used as a catalyst. Along with iron, here we used molybdenum also. You are using molybdenum or not? Molybdenum. So this molybdenum acts as a catalytic poison or promoter. It acts as a promoter. So iron acts as catalyst and this molybdenum acts as a promoter. Otherwise, in the CO plus H2 gives a CH3OH. What we use here? Zinc oxide, chromium oxide. Zinc oxide acts as a catalyst and chromium oxide acts as a promoter. Chromium oxide is a promoter. So what is this promoter? Increases activity of catalyst. If any other substance increases catalyst, that increases the rate of reaction. Other substance we are adding along with this catalyst, that increases activity of catalyst. If anyone increases activity of catalyst, that is called promoter. If it decreases activity of catalyst, that is called catalytic poison. So catalytic poison and a promoter. So what is promoter? What is catalytic poison? Why it increases? Why that decreases? This reason also important one. Why this catalytic promoter increases? So this catalytic promoter, like this crystals, close packing, and these are close packing, not this distance. So now here interstitial voids. Okay, these interstitial voids occupied by these promoters. Promoters occupies, anyhow in solid state we learn like this many diagrams. So close packing is there. Here interstitial voids, these voids are occupied by promoters. If promoters occupies interstitial voids, surface area increases. So surface area increases, this catalytic activity because adsorption increases, rate of adsorption increases. So how these promoters increases the activity of catalyst? Given answer is a promoters occupies the interstitial voids and increases surface area. How this catalytic poison decreases the activity? This catalytic poison occupies the active sites on surface. On surface, fixed number of active sites are present according to Langmuir adsorption isotherm. So these active sites are occupied by catalytic poison. So if active sites are occupied by catalytic poison, then the number of active sites decreases. Nothing but rate of reaction decreases. So catalytic poison decreases the activity of catalyst. Why it decreases activity of catalyst? It occupies active sites. Okay. Promoter increases the activity of catalyst. Why it increases activity of catalyst? It occupies the interstitial voids and increases the surface area. Okay. It is the catalytic poison and promoter. So next one is what is induced catalysis reaction and autocatalysis reaction? Induced catalysis and autocatalysis. Induced catalysis reaction. Sodium arsenite. Sodium arsenite. When exposed to air, this one not undergoes any oxidation. Sodium sulfite. When exposed to air, it undergoes oxidation. Oxidizes to sodium sulfate. Arsenite not changes to arsenate. See that. Arsenite not undergoes any oxidation, but sulfite undergoes oxidation. This sulfite is added to arsenite. Sodium sulfite we are adding to this sodium arsenite. Sodium sulfite formula Na2SO3. Okay. Sodium arsenite. Instead of that AS we are using arsenite. Sodium sulfite is added to arsenite. Now sodium sulfate undergoes oxidation. Sodium arsenite also undergoes oxidation. Okay. Sodium sulfate oxidizes. Sodium arsenite oxidizes. Sodium arsenite individually no oxidation, but sodium sulfite can oxidizes. If the sulfite is added to arsenite, arsenite also can undergoes oxidation. Nothing but what happens? Now this one not acts as a catalyst, simple catalyst. This one also undergoes oxidation. So it induces the activity or oxidation reactivity of this sodium arsenite. One substance is added to another substance that not involved in reaction, but in the presence of this substance both involved in reaction. So it induces reactivity of this sodium arsenite. This type of any reaction given, that is the induced catalytic reaction. That is the induced catalytic reaction. So next one is the autocatalysis. What is this autocatalysis reaction? Autocatalysis reaction. Auto means auto. Self-catalysis. Yes or no? So autocatalysis reaction. What is this autocatalysis reaction? So well-known example in first year in lab you did this experiment. KMnO4 volumetric analysis. KMnO4 in the presence of sulfuric acid, little amount of sulfuric acid we have to use in this experiment, and KMnO4 plus sulfuric acid, KMnO4 in burette, oxalic acid in conical flask. To that one test tube, full test tube, nothing but 10 ml sulfuric acid we have to add a little heat, then we should titrate that. Like this volumetric analysis. Remember no? H2C2O4. In first year practical we did this one. KMnO4 plus H2SO4 plus oxalic acid. Anyhow this reaction we learned in D and F block elements also. And in redox for balancing also we learned this reaction. In lab we learned this reaction. In D and F block reaction we learned, and in redox also we learned. Nothing but 3 times we learned this reaction. So now what are the products obtained here? KMnO4 plus H2SO4 plus H2C2O4. Giving answers or not? K2SO4 plus MnSO4 before me, better you complete that answers. After writing, don't say okay. So it's the K2SO4, MnSO4, H2O and CO2. So oxalic acid changes to carbon dioxide. Oxalic acid changes to carbon dioxide, and KMnO4 changes to MnSO4. KMnO4 changes to MnSO4. This is the reaction. It is one redox reaction. So here we are not adding any catalyst. Initially in lab mostly you observe that initially the reaction is very slow reaction. Initially this reaction is a slow reaction, but after some time speed of the reaction increases. After some time speed of the reaction increases. Nothing but what happened here? Here initially the reaction is slow. After some time some of the products are formed. In this product one of the product acts as a catalyst. One of the product acts as a catalyst. Initially reactants are there. We are not adding any catalyst. Initially the reaction is very slow. Some product obtained. In these products one of the product acts as a catalyst. Because of catalytic activity of that one of the product, then speed of the reaction increased. We are not adding anything, but one of the product itself acts as a catalyst. That's why the reaction is called autocatalysis reaction. So here which one acts as catalyst? This is very very important one. In reaction of KMnO4 with oxalic acid, the catalyst is, given answer is Mn plus 2. Don't mark KMN4 acts as a catalyst. One of the reactant not acts as catalyst. One of the product acts as a catalyst. So what is the catalyst here? Mn plus 2 is the catalyst. Otherwise ASH3, arsenic hydrate, decomposition, on heating decomposes. This decomposition reaction is initially very slow reaction, but after some time speed of the reaction increases. After some time speed of the reaction increases. Why speed of the reaction increases? One of the product acts as the very important one in autocatalysis reaction. One of the product acts as a catalyst, not one of the reactant acts as catalyst. That given wrong answer. One of the product acts as a catalyst. So which one acts as catalyst here? Arsenic. So in decomposition of ASH3, the catalyst is given answer is arsenic acts as a catalyst. In KMN4 reaction with oxalic acid, the catalyst is very important reaction. The catalyst is Mn plus 2. Like this ester hydrolysis is given, acid acts as a catalyst. Okay, it is a autocatalysis reaction. So next, homocatalytic reaction and heterocatalytic reaction. What are these two types of reactions? What is catalyst? What is positive catalyst? What is negative catalyst? What is catalytic poison? What is promoter? What is induced catalysis reaction? What is autocatalysis reaction? Now what is that homocatalytic reaction and heterocatalytic reaction? Nothing but homogeneous reaction, heterogeneous reaction. What are these two types of reactions? Homogeneous and heterogeneous reactions. Homogeneous reaction. Homo means similar. Reactants and products are similar, and reactants and catalysts are similar. Catalysts and products are similar. Similar means physical states are similar. So homogeneous catalytic. General homogeneous reaction means the physical states of reactants and products are similar. Those reactions are called homogeneous reactions. Now it is a homogeneous catalytic reaction. Homogeneous catalytic reaction means the physical state of reactants and catalysts are similar, not the products. No need to see that product physical state. Just the physical states of reactants and catalysts are similar. Then that reaction is called homogeneous catalytic reaction. So in lead chamber process, what is the reaction? Lead chamber process. SO2, sulfuric acid common name? No need to ask that, king of chemicals. I am not asking the king of chemicals name, other name. One more name is there for sulfuric acid. It is also called chamber acid. Why it is called chamber acid? This is prepared by using lead chamber process. Sulfuric acid common name, king of chemicals, or chamber acid. This is called chamber acid because it is prepared by using lead chamber process. In this lead chamber process, the catalyst used is NO. NO is used as catalyst. This one gas. No need to see the physical state of the products, and these reactants also gas. So reactants and catalysts are in same physical state. That reaction is a homogeneous catalytic reaction. Okay, same reaction SO2 plus H2 in the presence of V2O5 solid SO3. Balance this reaction later. Now not required. Just SO2 plus O2 gives SO3 in the presence of V2O5. These two are gases, but this V2O5 is a solid. Nothing but this is example for heterogeneous catalytic reaction. So heterogeneous catalytic reaction means reactants and catalysts are in different physical states. Homogeneous catalytic reaction means reactants and catalysts are same physical state. Homogeneous reaction given, reactants and products are in same physical state, but homogeneous catalytic reaction given, reactants and catalysts are in same physical state. Okay, and here reactants and catalysts are in different physical state, given that is a heterogeneous catalytic reaction. So these are different types of catalytic reactions. So the last is what is the mechanism of catalytic reaction? How the reactions takes place? What is the mechanism involved in homogeneous catalytic reaction and mechanism involved in heterogeneous catalytic reaction? Very simple, this one also. Very easy concept. Catalyst. Nothing is there, few examples are there. All these examples many times in different places we are using. Anyhow we can remember these examples. So homogeneous catalytic reaction. How this reaction takes place? Now two mechanisms are there. Here intermediate compound formation. Intermediate compound formation, and here adsorption principle. Heterogeneous catalytic reaction occurs based on adsorption principle, and homogeneous catalytic reaction occurs based on intermediate compound formation. That's why D block elements are used as a catalyst in homogeneous catalytic reaction and also heterogeneous catalytic reaction. So So intermediate compound formation and here adsorption principle. So how that intermediate compound? Better this example only. What is that? Lead chamber process. Okay. SO2 plus O2 gives SO3. Here we are using NO as a catalyst. NO is used as catalyst. Now it is example homogeneous reaction. What is the mechanism here? Intermediate compound formation. Nothing but catalyst not involves in reaction. That is wrong statement. Catalyst involved in reaction. Now this catalyst combines with one of the reactant. For example, O2. This catalyst combines with O2. Then it changes to NO2. Okay, it changes to NO2. Now one more intermediate compound is formed. What is that intermediate? Not one more, one intermediate compound is formed. What is that intermediate compound? NO2. Now this NO2 combines with another reactant, SO2. It changes to SO3 plus NO. See that. Catalyst involved in chemical reaction. It changes to one intermediate compound. But finally retains. Any change in chemical composition? No change. No change in chemical composition and no change in its mass. But it involved in a chemical reaction. It forms one intermediate compound. Like this any reaction takes place. That is the intermediate compound formation mechanism. So catalyst reacts with one of the reactant. It changes to one intermediate compound. Then it combines with another reactant. Finally retains. That is the homogeneous catalytic reaction. How this heterogeneous catalytic reaction takes place? Heterogeneous catalytic reaction. Best example is the hydrogenation of oils. Hydrogenation of oils, another name is the hardening of oils. Hardening given there is a hydrogenation. Oil in the presence of nickel catalyst changes to fat. Nothing but what is the reaction here? Oils means they are unsaturated. Then in the presence of nickel it is treated with hydrogen. Then addition of hydrogen takes place. It changes to saturated. Unsaturated changes to saturated. What we are adding here? Hydrogen in the presence of nickel. Now it is a heterogeneous catalytic because it is a gas. This nickel is a solid. Now this nickel has active sites. Active sites on surface. This hydrogen gas first adsorbed on this. Hydrogen gas adsorbed on active sites of nickel. Okay. Then this hydrogen combines with this unsaturated compound, nothing but oil. Then it changes to fat. So oil changes to fat. But before that what happened? This hydrogen adsorbed on surface of a nickel catalyst. Nothing but what is the principle involved here? Adsorption principle. So heterogeneous catalytic reactions occurs based on adsorption principle. Just one of the reactant or two reactants adsorb on surface of catalyst. Then both reacts with each other, changes to products. That principle is the adsorption principle. Okay. Larger surface area, more adsorption takes place. It is the mechanism of a homogeneous catalytic reaction and a heterogeneous catalytic reaction. Okay. And enzyme catalytic reaction, how it takes place? Enzymes. About these enzymes in biomolecules chapter once again we can learn. That's why all examples not required here. Just enzymes. What are these enzymes? Proteins or nucleic acids? Enzymes are definitely proteins. Yes or no? So enzymes, these are proteins. These proteins act as a catalyst in biochemical reactions. They act as catalyst in biochemical reactions. And these enzymes are highly specific and highly selective in nature. Highly selective in nature. Nothing but invertase can catalyzes sucrose to glucose and fructose. Like that zymase. These have definite active sites and highly specific and selective in nature, highly sensitive also. Okay. And active at optimum pH, optimum temperature, nothing but our body temperature. Inside they can access catalyst, outside temperature changed, they cannot access a catalyst. For digestion, different types of enzymes involved. Zymase, it oxidizes? No, it catalyzes glucose to ethyl alcohol. Ethyl alcohol preparation from glucose using zymase catalyst. So zymase enzyme that acts as the catalyst for the conversion of glucose to ethyl alcohol. Like that pepsin converts the proteins to peptides in stomach, and trypsin converts trypsin and pepsin, digestion of proteins. Trypsin converts that peptides to amino acids in intestine. So in stomach which one acts as catalyst? Given there is a pepsin, and in intestine which one acts as catalyst? Given there is a trypsin. So pepsin and trypsin are catalyst for proteins digestion. And invertase is catalyst for sucrose. Maltase converts maltose to glucose. Urease converts urea to ammonia and ammonia along with urea. What we are getting? Urea, NH2CO, NH2. So ammonia and carbon dioxide. Urease acts as a catalyst. Okay, these are enzymes. These are highly specific, highly selective in nature. Enzymes are biomolecules. They also act as a catalyst. So how this catalytic reaction takes place? That reaction mechanism is a lock and key mechanism. Lock and key mechanism. Nothing is there. Enzyme. Okay, and it combines with reactant, that is called substrate. Mostly in biology also you learn this one. Enzyme plus substrate. It gives one intermediate complex. That is the enzyme substrate. Nothing but this substrate having one lock structure like lock, and this enzyme having a key structure like this key like this only, no? So enzyme having key structure, nothing but here one structure is there, and in this active site also same structure. Active site having same structure. Then this enzyme can fit in this lock. So this is a lock and this is a key, like this, no locks I think. This is lock and it is key. Substrate having lock structure and this enzyme having key structure. Nothing but one enzyme can fit in this. Another enzyme we can't use. Nothing but another key we can't use for given lock. Okay. So it is a highly specific in nature. Highly specific and selective in nature. So the mechanism is a lock and key mechanism. That's why one enzyme can catalyze only one type of reaction. Now enzyme and substrate combine changes to enzyme substrate. Finally changes to enzyme and product. So how this enzyme catalytic reactions takes place given? Enzyme first combines with substrate, then it changes to one intermediate, that is the enzyme substrate, that is the lock and key mechanism, then it changes to enzyme and product. Okay, this is the enzyme catalytic reactions. Here I given many examples. Anyhow in biomolecules and in biology also we are learning different examples. Okay, it is the enzyme catalytic. So next one is a shape selective catalyst. What is this shape selective catalyst? Mostly remembered in first PU your final exam and 1 mark question given. Which one is used as catalyst to convert alcohol to, no, ZSM5 used in which reaction? Like this 1 mark question given. That is a shape selective catalyst reaction. Shape selective catalysis, nothing but shape selective catalyst reaction. So which are acts as this shape selective catalyst? Zeolites. Zeolites in 14th group also we learned. Zeolites are example for 3-dimensional network silicates. Zeolites. Now these zeolites, they have definite pores, nothing but porous structure. They have porous structure. Now this zeolite, that is the 3-dimensional network structure, pores are present. This pore size nearly 250 to 750 picometers size. That is a ZSM pore size. Definite pore sizes. They have fixed pores. Nothing but they have sieve-like structure. Sieves means like this holes present. That is a Jarday or Jarday something for sieving. So sieves. Now here holes are present. All these holes the same size holes. Like this fixed sized holes structure. So zeolites have sieve structure. Zeolites have sieve structure. Nothing but pores are there. Every zeolite having fixed sized pores. Now any reactant occupies these pores. Nothing but the reactivity depends on pore size of this zeolite and also size of this reactant. Size of the reactant. That reactant occupies these pores. Now here reaction takes place. Now nothing but what happened? One reactant that occupies the pores of the zeolites. So zeolite pores occupied. Nothing but it depends on shape of this pore and also shape of this reactant. Shape of the reactants. So complete catalytic activity depends on shape of the reactants and also pores of this zeolite. That's why this reaction is called shape selective reaction. Shape selective catalyst. Its activity depends on size of the pores present in the zeolite, because zeolite has a sieve structure. Zeolite has sieve structure. Many pores are present. The reactivity depends on size of these pores. All reactants not undergoes adsorption here. Depends on size of the pores. Now here, how we are getting these zeolites? That is one important question. These are silicates anyhow. So in these silicates, some of the silicon atoms replace. Silicates means that having silicon oxygen link, no. Silicon, oxygen, silicon link. Some of the silicon replaced by aluminium. Some of the silicon atoms replaced by aluminium. That's why we are getting here pores. Why in this zeolite we are getting pores means some of the silicon atoms are replaced by aluminium atoms. Because of that replacement, pores are obtained. That porous substance acts as a good catalyst. So these zeolites are acts as a catalyst in different reactions. Anyhow, these are three-dimensional network compounds. So the best one is a ZSM5. ZSM5, this is a zeolite. It acts as catalyst for the conversion of alcohols to gasoline. Gasoline means there is the petrol. Better no? Petrol. Alcohol to gasoline. Which one is used as catalyst given? There is a ZSM5. ZSM5 is a sieve selective catalyst. There is a zeolites. So zeolites are acts as catalyst in different reactions, but their catalytic activity depends on size of the pore and also size of the reactants. They have sieve structure. How getting sieve structure? Some of the silicon atoms are replaced by aluminium atoms. Okay, these are zeolites, shape selective catalyst. So the general formula of zeolites, Mx by N, AlO2x, SiO2y and MH2O. This is the general formula of zeolites. Nothing but silicates, aluminates combination. How we are getting? Some of the silicon atoms are replaced by aluminium atoms. So based on these zeolites, three important questions. One is zeolites are shape selective catalyst. This is one important one statement. And next, some of the silicon atoms are replaced by aluminum atoms. They will give silicates are replaced by aluminates. This option given, wrong option. Silicon replaced by aluminium. And which one acts as a catalyst for the conversion of alcohol to gasoline? Given there is a ZSM5. And they won't ask anyhow this formula, just for general knowledge. There is a Mx by N, AlO2x, SiO2y, MH2O. This is the general formula of zeolites. So this is about a catalyst. What is catalyst? What is the positive catalyst, negative catalyst, autocatalysis, shape selective catalyst, and induced catalysis reaction, homogeneous catalytic reaction, heterogeneous catalytic reaction, how these catalytic reactions takes place, and what is the catalytic poison, what is the promoter, and what are the characteristics of a catalyst. Nothing but from surface chemistry. Second part, that is a catalyst completed. First part is adsorption, second part is a catalyst. So the last third part, that is a colloidal solutions. So next class we are going to learn colloids. That is also very important one. What are the colloids? In next class, until then, take care.